What if the real reason you feel stuck has nothing to do with money, luck, timing, or the people around you? What if the greatest obstacle in your life isn't outside of you, but inside you? Not your weaknesses, not your lack of talent, but the part of your mind that has been quietly hiding the truth from you. You wake up with goals. You promise yourself this time will be different. You plan, you prepare, you try to stay disciplined. And yet somehow, when the opportunity appears, when the moment comes to step forward, you hesitate. You procrastinate. You shrink. Then you tell yourself a comfortable story. It's not the right time. I'm not ready. Maybe later. But what if that voice isn't wisdom? What if it's fear wearing a mask? There is a part of you that learned very early that being fully seen was dangerous. Maybe when you were bold, you were told to calm down. When you were emotional, you were told to toughen up. When you dreamed too big, someone laughed. So you adapted. You trimmed your edges. You hid your intensity. You buried your anger. You silenced your ambition. You became acceptable, and in doing so, you became smaller. The mind is brilliant at protecting you. It shields you from pain, rejection, embarrassment. But here's the cost no one talks about. The same mechanism that protects you from pain also protects you from power. It hides the parts of you that feel risky. It pushes down the traits that might make others uncomfortable. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to live only as a fraction of who you are. This is where the real conflict begins. Because buried inside you isn't just fear. It's fire, it's hunger, it's intensity. It's the version of you that would speak boldly, love deeply, lead courageously, create unapologetically. But that version threatens the identity you've built to survive. So your mind keeps it hidden. And when that hidden part tries to surface, it feels unfamiliar, almost dangerous. Have you ever noticed how certain people trigger you instantly? Someone confident walks into a room and you feel irritated. Someone unapologetically ambitious speaks and you label them arrogant. Someone expresses raw emotion and you call them dramatic. Why? Because they are embodying something you buried in yourself. And instead of recognizing it, your mind protects your comfort by turning it into judgment. This is not weakness. It is conditioning. But if you don't question it, it becomes a prison. Imagine what would happen if you stopped running from the parts of yourself that feel uncomfortable. Imagine if instead of silencing your anger, you understood it. Instead of suppressing your ambition, you honored it. Instead of hiding your sensitivity, you embraced it as depth. The very traits you were taught to tone down might be the exact traits that unlock your next level. You are not stuck because you lack ability. You are stuck because you have not fully accepted your complexity. You want confidence, but you reject your assertiveness. You want success, but you distrust your ambition. You want love, but you fear vulnerability. You are asking for expansion while clinging to safety. Growth does not begin with adding something new to yourself. It begins with reclaiming what you abandoned. There is a version of you that is tired of playing small. A version that feels the tension every time you hold back your opinion. A version that knows you are capable of more. That tension you feel in your chest when you watch others succeed. That's not jealousy. That's recognition. Recognition of your own unused potential. The truth your mind hides is simple but uncomfortable. You are not afraid of failure. You are afraid of your own magnitude. You are afraid of what will be required if you truly step into your power. Because stepping into your power means taking responsibility. It means no more excuses, no more blaming circumstances, no more waiting for permission, and that is terrifying. But here is the breakthrough. The discomfort you feel is not a warning to stop. It is an invitation to expand. Every time you feel triggered, resistant, or exposed, you are standing at the edge of transformation. The question is not whether fear will show up. It will. The question is whether you will continue letting it decide who you get to be. Right now, your life reflects the parts of you that are conscious. But your future depends on the parts you have hidden. The strength you crave is buried beneath the traits you rejected. The confidence you admire in others lies dormant within you. The power you seek is not missing. It is suppressed, and the moment you decide to face it, to acknowledge it, to integrate it instead of deny it, that is the moment everything changes. You are not broken. You are divided. And the truth that will change you forever is waiting in the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. These words, spoken by Carl Jung, are not just philosophy. They are a roadmap to reclaiming the power you've left buried inside yourself. You see, there is a part of you that you refuse to acknowledge, the side that has been silenced by fear, shaped by societal expectations, and buried under layers of self-doubt. Jung called it the shadow, the part of your psyche that contains the traits, emotions, and desires you reject. And here's the truth. Until you embrace it, it controls you more than you can imagine. Think about it. Every time you react disproportionately, every time jealousy, anger, or insecurity surfaces, it's your shadow speaking. It is the hidden part of you demanding recognition. Maybe you've suppressed ambition because it's not polite to want more. Maybe you've denied your anger because expressing it felt unsafe. Maybe you have silenced your creativity because someone told you it wasn't practical. And yet, those very traits, once reclaimed, are the raw material of your power. What you reject, you feed. What you embrace, you unleash. The shadow is not weakness. It is untapped strength. It is creativity that has been whispered into the corners of your mind, but never allowed to roar. It is courage, wrapped in fear, waiting for you to call it forth. It is energy, raw and alive, that wants to flow through your ambitions, your art, your relationships, your purpose. And the irony is brutal. The very thing that scares you is the very thing that will set you free. Consider this. The parts of yourself that you have hidden are the same parts that, if integrated, will transform your life. Suppressed anger becomes assertiveness. Fear of failure becomes calculated risk-taking. Unacknowledged desire becomes drive. Every trait you buried, every emotion you denied, every instinct you ignored, when confronted, examined, and owned, becomes a source of strength that no one can take from you. The shadow is not your enemy. It is the seed of your greatness. And here's the hard part. Integration is uncomfortable. Facing the parts of yourself you've hidden requires brutal honesty. It demands you stop lying to yourself, stop making excuses, stop pretending that everything is fine when inside you are restless, unfulfilled. Yeah, yearning for more. It is messy, it is painful, and it is necessary. Growth does not happen in the comfort zone. It happens at the edge of fear, where you are forced to confront the parts of yourself that society, your upbringing, and even you have deemed unacceptable. Every great person you admire has wrestled with this shadow. The innovators, the leaders, the artists, they all learned to sit with their darkness, to explore the hidden corners of their psyche, to integrate the very impulses and instincts that society told them to suppress. What separated them from the rest of the world wasn't that they were fearless. They weren't. It was that they dared to face the parts of themselves most people run from. They took the uncomfortable journey inward, and in doing so, they unlocked power, vision, and authenticity that the rest of the world could never imitate. You have this same potential. You have the same capacity to reclaim what you have abandoned. Every trait you have judged, every desire you have denied, every fear you have ignored, these are your keys. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now, right now, the energy you need to create, to love, to lead, to transform, is locked behind a door you have the power to open. And the lock is nothing but your own resistance. Ask yourself, what part of you have you been pretending doesn't exist? What anger, ambition, curiosity, desire, or intensity have you been burying? Because wherever there is suppression, there is unexpressed energy. And unexpressed energy is never neutral. It will leak, distort, and shape your life in ways you do not intend. The traits you fear are not the enemy. They are the tools. The parts you deny are not weaknesses. They are hidden strengths. And the moment you choose to acknowledge them, explore them, and wield them consciously, everything changes. The shadow is not something to be conquered. It is something to be understood, embraced, and integrated. It is a teacher, a guide, a map to your own untapped power. It holds the courage, clarity, and creativity that you have been searching for in the world. And the moment you face it head-on, you realize the truth. The obstacles were never outside of you. They were inside, and the power to rise above them has always been yours. This is your call. Stop denying. Stop shrinking. Stop pretending that comfort equals safety. The path to greatness is hidden in the parts of yourself you've been afraid to look at. Step into the mirror of your own mind. See the truth. Feel it. Own it. Integrate it. Because what you embrace today will ignite your power tomorrow. And once you do, no force on earth can stop the momentum you create. Have you ever noticed how certain people ignite a fire inside you? But it's not the kind of fire you want. Someone's confidence, success, or boldness makes your chest tighten, your jaw clench, your stomach twist. You call it irritation, jealousy, resentment. You might even try to suppress it, brush it off, or rationalize it with a convenient story. They're arrogant. They are lucky. They don't deserve it. But what if I told you that every reaction like this is a message, a mirror, reflecting the very traits you've buried inside yourself? That every trigger you feel is a signal from your own hidden power, demanding recognition? You see, Jung taught us about projection, the mind's sneaky way of hiding from itself. Projection is the mechanism by which your unconscious parts are shoved onto others. That rage you condemn in someone else, it's your own anger, suppressed and untamed. That frustration you feel when someone claims what you desire, it's your own ambition you've denied. That fear of rejection you see in others' behavior, that's a shadow of your own hesitation to step forward. Every person who she's your buttons is not your enemy. They are a living, breathing map of your unclaimed potential. And until you stop blaming them, until you stop hiding behind judgment, you will remain trapped in your own limits. Think about it deeply. Every time you are annoyed, offended, or jealous, the question is not what is wrong with them. The real question is, what am I hiding from myself? And that answer, though uncomfortable, is liberating. Because the traits you deny are not weaknesses. They are your greatest assets. The fear, the longing, the anger, the ambition, the desire for more. These are the currents beneath the surface, waiting for acknowledgement, waiting to flow. And the moment you recognize them, the moment you own them, The moment you stop projecting onto others and start integrating within yourself, your life begins to change in ways that will astonish you. Here's the truth. Most people never face. Triggers are not punishments. They are invitations. Invitations to explore the hidden corners of your psyche, to uncover the shadows you've been running from, and to reclaim the energy that has been controlling your life from the background. That uncomfortable feeling when someone challenges you, upsets you, or threatens your ego. It's not meant to hurt you. It's meant to wake you up. It's meant to say, here lies the unacknowledged part of yourself that holds your freedom. And freedom doesn't come from blaming, rationalizing, or ignoring. It comes from facing, integrating, and mastering. Imagine what would happen if, the next time you felt triggered, you paused instead of reacting. If instead of letting anger or envy control your words, you asked yourself, what part of me is showing up in this moment? What part of me is afraid, suppressed, denied, or yearning to be expressed? That single moment of radical honesty, of self-reflection, can redirect your entire trajectory. What once was a source of frustration becomes a source of insight. What once was wasted energy becomes your fuel. What once was reaction becomes conscious action. Every trigger is also a teacher. The people, situations, and moments that push your buttons are delivering one clear message. You are not fully aligned with yourself. You are hiding. You are pretending. You are giving your power away. And it doesn't matter whether it's a coworker, a friend, a family member, or a stranger. The pattern is the same. Every external irritation is an internal invitation to grow, to claim, to step fully into your own authenticity. The courageous path is simple, but not easy. It requires you to observe without judgment, to ask brutal questions, to write down your reactions, study them, and face what comes up. It demands that you stop projecting, stop comparing, stop blaming, and in return, it offers something few ever achieve: self-mastery, clarity, and the raw energy of a life fully owned. When you learn to turn the mirror inward, to see every trigger as a clue, you stop being controlled by the world. You stop being reactive. You stop being a passive passenger in your own story. And you start acting from power, purpose, and alignment. Here's the bottom line. The people who irritate you, frustrate you, or challenge you are not obstacles. They are your GPS to self-realization. They are shining a light on the exact traits you've been avoiding, hiding, or suppressing. The anger you judge, the envy you despise, the discomfort you resist. These are not enemies. They are your compass. And the moment you choose to follow that compass instead of avoiding it, the moment you step into the parts of yourself you've denied, everything changes. Your relationships, your confidence, your career, your joy, all of it will expand. So stop reacting like a victim of circumstance. Stop allowing your hidden traits to control your life through projection. Start observing. Start questioning. Start claiming what is yours. Because the fire that triggers you in others is the fire you have been ignoring in yourself. And once you ignite it, once you own it, you become unstoppable. Growth begins where comfort ends. That is not a cliché. It is the raw, unvarnished truth. The path to transformation is not paved with ease, approval, or safety. It is forged in the crucible of your own willingness to confront what you have been running from. Your shadow, the hidden parts of yourself that have been silenced, ignored, or denied, is calling. And it is not whispering, it is roaring. The moment you stop avoiding it, the moment you stop avoiding it, the moment you stop pretending that comfort equals control. That roar becomes your rallying cry. It becomes the signal that you are ready to step into power you didn't even know was yours. Think about how much of your life has been spent shrinking yourself to fit someone else's mold. You've dimmed your opinions. You've silenced your desires. You have abandoned your natural instincts because they seemed too much, too bold, too risky. And all the while, the parts of you that matter most, the ambition, the creativity, the courage, have been waiting, patient and persistent, to be reclaimed. Every act of suppression has a cost. Every moment of fear has left energy unused, potential untapped. And now, that energy is begging to be released. The door is in front of you. The key is in your hands, but the lock is your own resistance. Integration is not theoretical. It is tangible, practical, and transformational. The first step is radical self-honesty. Stop lying to yourself about what you want, what you feel, what you fear. Stop telling yourself that it's not the right time, or that I'm not ready. Those are excuses disguised as wisdom. The truth is, readiness is a myth. Growth begins in discomfort. Success begins in risk. Power begins when you stop hiding. Write it down. Say it aloud. Admit it. The parts of yourself you've been avoiding are not optional. They are essential. Next, observe yourself without judgment. Pay attention to the patterns that have been running in the background of your life. The relationships that always fail, the opportunities you sabotage, the recurring moments when fear freezes your actions. These are not coincidences. They are signals, coded messages from your unconscious, pointing you toward what needs acknowledgement, integration, and release. Treat them like data, like instructions for unlocking the next level of yourself. Every trigger, every frustration, every failure is information, and information is power. If you choose to use it, then comes the work that separates the brave from the passive. Sitting with discomfort, don't push it away. Don't medicate it with distraction. Feel it fully, the anxiety, the fear, the tension. Let it wash over you. Let it teach you. Let it reveal the parts of yourself that have been suppressed. Every time you sit with discomfort, instead of escaping it, you stretch the muscles of your soul. Every moment you face what you have feared, you reclaim territory in yourself that was lost to avoidance. This is not easy. It is not glamorous, but it is electric. It is life, and it is where transformation begins. Reclaiming suppressed traits is the next stage. That assertiveness you thought was arrogance, that creativity you buried for practicality, that ambition you stifled to please others. Bring it back. Experiment with it. Use it intentionally. Step into situations where these traits are required, even if it scares you. The more you act from your reclaimed self, the more it becomes integrated. The energy fire once felt dangerous now feels alive. The fire that once threatened burns as fuel, and each step, each action, each brave expression is proof that you are moving beyond limitation into full self-mastery. Individuation, as Jung called it, is the process of becoming whole. It is the act of integrating light and shadow, courage and fear, desire and restraint, strength and vulnerability. It is not perfection. It is authenticity, and authenticity is magnetic, powerful, unstoppable. It transforms your relationships, your work, your impact, your happiness. It makes every challenge meaningful, every setback temporary, every success sustainable. When you live as a whole, fully integrated being, the world cannot manipulate you, trigger you, or limit you. You become the master of your own destiny. The monster under the bed disappears when you turn on the light. Your fear, your resistance, your avoidance, they vanish when you illuminate them with awareness, attention, and courage. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. What once seemed dangerous becomes exhilarating. And the moment you choose to face your hidden self, to honor the parts of you that were denied, to act with radical honesty and fierce intention, you step into a life you are always capable of living but never dared to claim. So stop hiding, stop shrinking, stop pretending that growth can wait. Radical honesty, conscious action, and fearless reclamation are the path. Take the first step, feel the discomfort, own the power, reclaim what is yours. The shadow that has haunted you for so long is not your enemy. It is the treasure chest of your own greatness. Open it, step in, and watch yourself rise. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world, the economy, or circumstances beyond your control. The greatest battle is within. It is the internal war between the small, comfortable version. Oh, F yourself and the whole, unapologetic power that has always been waiting to emerge. Every fear you've avoided, every desire you've silenced, every ambition you've denied. It's all part of the same war. And the moment you face it, the moment you stop running, the moment you decide to stand fully in your own truth, everything changes. Not someday. Not when conditions are perfect. Now. Right here. Right now. Imagine yourself for a moment as a force of nature. The storm is brewing inside you. Wild, untamed, unclaimed. That storm has been restrained for decades, held back by fear, by judgment, by habit. And what happens when storms are trapped? They fester, they leak, they wreak unintended havoc. But what happens when you channel a storm? When you direct it, harness it, and integrate it, it becomes unstoppable energy. It becomes power. It becomes influence. That storm inside you is your shadow, your hidden self, your untapped potential. And the moment you stop hiding from it, it transforms from a source of limitation into a source of liberation. Look at your life and be brutally honest. Where have you been playing small? Which opportunities did you avoid because the discomfort seemed too much? Which relationships, projects, or ideas did you sabotage because you feared the consequences of fully showing up? These are not failures. They are signals. They are markers on your map, pointing to exactly where your growth begins. And growth, real transformative growth, does not come from comfort. It comes from confrontation, from embracing what you've feared, from walking toward the parts of yourself that make you feel alive and terrified. At the same time, the power you seek is not outside of you. It is inside. Every confidence you admire in others, every calm authority, every magnetic charisma, every unshakable courage you see in someone else, it exists in you too. It has been waiting for the moment you stop hiding, waiting for the moment you choose awareness over autopilot, waiting for the moment you take responsibility for every emotion, every action, every thought, and refuse to give your power away. This is the moment to claim it. This is the moment to integrate it. This is the moment to rise. And make no mistake, claiming your power requires action. Awareness alone is not enough. Reflection alone is not enough. It is the courageous, deliberate choice to act in alignment with your whole self that changes the trajectory of your life. Speak the truth you've been hiding. Pursue the goals you've been afraid to claim. Take risks that scare you, even when they defy logic, comfort or approval. Stand in your shadow, claim it, and let it fuel every decision, every interaction, every moment of your existence. This is not optional. It is necessary. It is the difference between a life half-lived and a life fully claimed. Think of it this way. The treasure you seek is buried in the cave you fear to enter. Every moment you avoid your shadow, every time you turn away from discomfort, every time you let fear dictate your actions, you leave that treasure untouched. But the moment you take the first step, no matter how small, into that cave, the world begins to shift. Obstacles become challenges. Challenges becomes fuel. Resistance becomes momentum. And suddenly, the life you once imagined as impossible becomes inevitable. Your hidden self is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally. The traits you've denied, the emotions you've avoided, the desires you've silenced, they are not weaknesses. They are the blueprint for your transformation. They are the keys to a life defined, not by fear, limitations, or external validation, but by authenticity, power, and relentless purpose. When you integrate them, you become whole, you become resilient, you become unstoppable. So take action now. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop letting fear decide what is possible. Observe your triggers. Face your discomfort. Reclaim your suppressed traits. Speak your truth. Pursue your desires. Step boldly into the life that has been waiting for you, fully, unapologetically, relentlessly. The moment you do, everything changes. Your relationships deepen. Your career accelerates. Your influence expands. Your confidence becomes unshakable. Your purpose becomes clear, and you finally realize what you've always known in your heart, but never fully allowed yourself to accept. The power to transform your life has always been within you. The treasure was never lost. It was waiting patiently for you to rise and claim it. The question is simple. Will you step into your shadow, embrace it, and unleash the life you were born to live, or will you continue to let fear dictate your destiny? The answer you choose today will define the life you create tomorrow.